Wow, greetings. It's Wednesday. Hope everyone's doing good. Sorry about no stream yesterday. He had to go to the doctors. We have a bunch of needles. Yay, estrogen. Ugh. Pick for chitty juice straight into our thighs. All right. How about we get going? All right. If possible, we'd like to finish this week because it'd be fun to stream some kind of spooky game for October, for the spooky season. Do you mind if we read your diary?
These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You may have notes on this and other recent cases.
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night.
I saw apocalyptic visions of darkness beyond darkness. Behind darkness.
Behind darkness, I get it. Let's go.
Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola.
What time?
Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
What's that?
Ulogu theodos, xino zausin, ipoli osithian, echondes phronisin.
When did the countdown begin?
Monday morning, the moment you arrived in this reality, are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread.
Old ending I've been saying is.
Yes, you spoke the words of the palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself.
I'm sure this isn't a joke or some kind of coping mechanism.
It's totally also a coping mechanism.
A little afraid.
So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps, just a thought, this has something to do with the hangover.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, yes, maybe it is just the hangover talking, or some kind of joke you're playing on yourself instead of working on the case. The bathroom mirror has been wiped completely clean. You see the reflection of your face in the mirror. The bathroom mirror has been wiped completely clean. The faucet is quite terribly mangled, but you just might be able to twist its parts into place. You handle the chain cutters deftly, applying just enough pressure. The faucet regains a recognizable shape. The steam stops. Told you that you needed those chain cutters. Everything is connected. Everything has a purpose. The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it.
Or well, figure out if we're some peon. Ooh. We'll walk.
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note, a few lines jotted down in large, uneven handwriting, just as the writer was about to rush out the door. I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift upstairs.
A gift?
You left in a hurry.
It's hardly surprising.
Gifty.
I am not drawing my gun, yet. But I don't like gifts.
He says he's not, but his hand moves instinctively toward his holster as he studies the note. Just don't walk into another radio trap, okay? Relax. Not everyone is out to trap you.
Take all the drugs.
The medicine cabinet is empty. Pity.
Gotta clean this out.
Mm-hmm. She certainly had her priorities straight when she was packing.
What? Which gloves?
You see the same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman, only now a red thread bisects the room, pointing from the antenna outside to the cupboard on the wall.
There, okay.
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez, B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime. It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof, B triple prime. The island in the bay.
Also, shot came from the. What?
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point.
How did she know how to do this?
She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was in the glass.
She had a long time to think about it after, standing on that roof, staring at the glass.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her?
Don't
Indeed.
know.
Neither do I. So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
Seem unenthusiastic.
I just haven't gotten a lot of sleep these past few days.
Oh, poor Kim.
He doesn't really believe this will yield anything.
We need to go to that island. Kim, let's fucking go to the island.
Okay, let's go to the fucking island. How do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone.
Lynette. Get a boat.
Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
Think. Nom, 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 nom.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
I think I can see into whatever's room from here.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
You looked at those yet? Already? Are they new?
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are...
Yeah, we already investigated. That's fine. Slowly walk back down. In a week. Oh, do we have... Is there anything we want to internalize? And we'll just hold on to the point for now. Hey Garrett, how's it going?
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you.
Good, thank you. Big improvement.
You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you, let's be fair, defended this establishment and its clientele from gunfire.
Aw.
I give credit where credit is due, and that, sir, was a nice shot. I was watching until you hit him. Crawled inside then. Bullets started flying. Anyway, I wish you a quick recovery. Also, you and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. The stay is free, the drinks are not.
Alright,
Just
where'd
felt
everyone
like
go?
Oh, you know, people don't tend to stick around after shootouts. Turns out they're not good for business.
What happened to the man with the
I
sunglasses?
don't remember everyone who comes here, and many people wear sunglasses inside lately. Must be a fad.
Okay, so I have to mention, when it happened, you were right out there on the balcony?
Yeah, I was, yeah. That's because I'm a bad ass.
Nod stoically.
He nods back at you, even more stoically. Just two badass men. Stoically. Make that three. The lieutenant is nodding too, hands crossed.
Alright, bye.
No problem. They'll come back.
Hey champ, how's it going? We're part of a homosexual underground now.
Hi again, Gendarme.
Sunday
You
friend.
did. And
Don't
how
like
did
him
you
as much as I like you.
Oh, shoot. Why not? Hmm?
Yeah.
What about me, Gendarme?
What are you
I'm
doing?
hiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer? Convenient.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Seeing you approach, the bruised man raises his bear in welcome.
Crazy motherfucker. Didn't think you had that fury in you, but I guess I've misjudged a lot of people lately. That was one hell of a shot. Hell of a shot. The fucks did not expect that. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is, thank you for intervening, fellas. That was mighty brave of you.
Oh yeah, last time we killed someone.
His hand is covered in bruises and half plastered. Still, this hulking lump of man is glad to be alive.
superstarred the shit out of that.
Dick Mullen on steroids. Glenn would have liked you had he gotten to... Never mind.
There's a lump in his throat when he thinks of Glenn, lying on the plaza mosaic, bleeding.
Sorry about the people you've lost.
Theo was old. I think he'd be pretty happy with the way he went. Never could imagine him withering away on a sickbed. But Angus... he was just a stupid kid. Didn't realize the mess he'd gotten into. Trusted me. Still, the balls on that kid. Went down fighting for someone else's shit like a fat, angry bear.
Here it comes. The last one is the worst one. He only deals with it by drinking copious amounts of 8% beer.
And holy shit.
And Glenn was my friend. Best I've ever had. I'd love that crazy homo like my own brother. We're all fucked without him. But what do? This job is shit.
Born in this world to die, it seems. Maybe there's redemption in that. At least it ends one day.
Man, getting shot has really squeezed all the funk out of you. Mark my words. One day we'll look back at this day and remember their courage, not their deaths.
Right. But today ain't that day yet.
What happened to Hardy Boys?
I guess I'll take a closer look at our union members. There's bound to be some ambitious fellows there who'd love nothing more than advancing social democracy by busting some heads. Might even ask Tibbs if he's tired of replacing windows, and maybe wants to have some fun with his brother. Anyway, don't you worry. As long as Titus Hardy's standing, there will be Hardy Boys.
What about her?
Don't know. Don't care. I'll be glad if I never see that fucking woman again.
After all we've been through, level with me. You really liked her, didn't you?
Nope.
Alright.
He did.
Okay.
He nods and takes another sip of whiskey.
Any ideas?
Judging by the sight of you, I'd suggest crawling into bed with a bottle of whiskey in one hand and a big tit in the other.
Yeah, go pay Monica a visit in Janrock. She's got a knack for making men forget about their worries. Biggest pair of milkers in all Rebacho.
Hell, you both look like you could use some feminine company right now.
Thank you for your advice, Eugene, and you too, Alain. I do always appreciate a good use of the expression milkers.
You're welcome, Bina Claude. You're all right in my book.
Long, fellas.
Take care, coppers. You two look after yourselves now. Death passed on you today.
Well, the other day.
Don't get that lucky twice.
Copo loco. And normal cop, I guess. Good luck in Janrock. Scars make the best tattoos, they say.
Real tattoos are kind of a
Thanks for
lot
getting
better.
involved, guys. Not a lot of cops would step into that line of fire, but you did.
And if you ever feel like the uniform is holding you back, I've got a few vacancies. You'd make one Hardy boy, copper.
And Titus Hardy himself would make a good officer. That man was born to lead.
Bye, Titus. Alright, we're going back to running. Fuck it. All about the money. Seems bad.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Skull.
It's like Cindy the Skull finally found the words for her masterpiece.
The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday.
Okay, so what do we need? Island, right? All the station. Yeah, let's call the station. Figure out if we're some mob boss's peon. Chilling out over there, fair.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Please connect me with the 41st again.
Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss.
10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information. Over.
And you can't tell me anything about me? But I'm me!
10-4. Orders are still orders. Anything else? Over.
Jules, I've heard that some people think of me as La Puta Muerda's peon. Do you think I'm corrupted?
10-4, sir. Well, there's been some talk, sir.
Some talk? What does that even mean, there's been some talk? Do they think I'm corrupt or not?
I only meant that there's been some talk in the station, that's all. But there's always some talk in the station. You know how officers in Jamrock are.
You actually don't?
But then again, some of us truly are on the take. It's unfortunate. Over.
Okay.
Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
Actually. Endurance is what gives us a health point, right? Yeah. Alright, great. Oh, yeah, let's go talk with Cindy the Skull. Powder sweet paint. Something beautiful is coming. Oh, Cindy the Skull isn't there. Oh, it's raining suddenly. Hey. Ba, ba, ba. Forfeited. Why? Because we got shot? Ah, that's so awful. Still gonna try to return at the end of the day, see if there's anything. Let's check a church real quick.
Good morning, comrade! Yeah! Harder car!
Thought about the described melody and came to the conclusion that Van Eccles has lived around here.
J'adore! God is close by, but maybe he doesn't have good enough ears. Let me turn it up so we can lure him here.
Try it. Wait. You're facing your go. Wait, don't we only have, I think, have gloves. Minus to it. If we hold these, does that give us interfacing help?
Good morning, comrade! Yeah! Harder,
Here's an idea. Say what you said before, the exact same thing. Or wait, say something that's only marginally different.
Should crank up the oscillator matrix.
Oscillator matrix? Where is that?
Nowhere, I just made it up.
The large-headed youth gives you an innocent soul, unaccustomed to acts of wanton guile.
Oh,
A cruel joke to play on it.
sorry, buddy. What do you mean, file not found?
Yes, what is it?
Oh, nothing. Okay, fine. Guess we'll go. Whatever. So are we not going to be able to build communism now? That's sad. Read that book and everything.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I got shot.
Even I can see that. I told you not to bring your trouble with you, policeman. We've got troubles of our own here. Though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen.
I guess you're right. The men with guns were coming for me after all.
I'm not sure those were the last of the men with guns either.
Uh-oh.
There are always more coming for your kind, officer.
Then we'll be ready for them.
Okay, never mind. Thought we could turn like the keys back in or something. Use your
Officer,
boat.
What happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
Got shot.
You're not limping. You're you.
You exist in this world. I live in the between life and death.
Everyone does that, in a way. You don't have to get shot for that. What happened to you anyway? We heard gunshots from the town. They were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
You didn't only get shot.
Dodge the second shot. I can also get not shot.
Well, good for you.
A question for you.
Of course. Can I
No.
help you with something?
Need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
On that island. Boys, nothing, just arranged used to be some kind of fortification there before war for the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think, bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
You said you haven't been there yourself. Who has been there if not you?
My husband used to drink there.
Ah.
Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
And people die everywhere here?
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such.
Which kids? Your kids?
The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Yeah, let's interrogate children.
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do.
Is there anything I should know about getting there?
Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Good to know.
Aye, aye, Captain.
So, can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
Nod.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Thank you.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
No. Alright, time to investigate some children. Hey there, boys in the street. Tell us what you know.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Hey kid, you been to that island, right?
On that island?
Yes, that one. I need to know what's there.
That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire.
Does children know how to start fires?
Mm-hmm. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
Wait, you mean shells?
I don't know what these are.
What then?
They're lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
Your nerve endings sting from the mention of a guy. They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
Someone lives on the island?
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Why is he the fire guy?
Because he asks to put the fire out.
Father used to go to the island too, didn't he?
Our father killed himself. Don't say that, he didn't. I'm sorry.
Why does he ask you to put the fires out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes.
Yes. You mentioned something about lights?
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes.
Anything else you can tell me about this guy? Age? Does he live there?
No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know.
How come?
We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there.
Is that all you know? Is there anything else you can tell me?
There's
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Bye, children. Boat time!
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
You take the engine cam, I'll hold the boombox.
What?
What? How else do we blast Sad FM on our way to the island?
Fine. Let's blast Sad FM then.
Sad FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
Get in and ride to the island. Hell yeah, boombox! Oh, motherfuckers!
1, 2, be free. 1, 2, be free. It will last forever. Eternally. 1, 2, be free. 1, 2, be free. It will last forever.
Eternally. This is a really slow boat. Oh. Dramatic effect. Will?
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, what a stealthy approach playing Sad FM. Gotta whisper now.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Leads to the depot in the Land's End.
Ah, yes, so it seems.
What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
Lock it from who?
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a...
Fair enough. Look at this big rock. Oh, tires. That's a weird way to spell tires. Wait, shh. That's a lovely melody in the background. Mazout? Fuck's mazout? Fuel oil. Okay. Flammable? Oh, right. Up there. Okay. Twin cannons.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
What kind of generator is this?
Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator.
Where do these wires lead?
Downstairs, somewhere?
Up.
A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
I think we know pretty well what it means.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Ooh, circuit benders, hell yeah.
Someone's made themselves a home.
All things con. You know what? Or we can conceptualization. Oh. Wow. We're getting it. We're getting it. We're ready. Ready to conceptualize.
serialized fantastique, and detective story. Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly like reading.
Look, Kim, powerful communist theory, rigorous and truthful.
Ouzia. I agree. Humanitarian sciences. It stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him. Wasn't there some in the communist student's room?
A student apartment building seemed to have some as well.
Well, yes. That one student did.
The little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them.
What do you think it means?
Whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
Interesting.
Interesting.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner.
How's it greasy?
Piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracol blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
How recently?
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself speak.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
Maybe a little shut-eye, just an hour.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there.
Snooze.
In the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there.
Go up with your knees close to your chest.
The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass.
Ow.
Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close. Until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening.
Oh shit, is Kim gonna be gone? Ah shit, Kim! Kim's dead! Hello, Ivysaur! Took a nap, yeah. Oh, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we should cosplay Cindy the fucking Skull. How do we... Kim said everything would be okay. Get out. Pardon? Very confused. Ah. Wow, that's dark. Alright. Guess, fuck you, flashlight. So how are you doing, Ivysaur? Walk into the water? Okay. Whoa, Jesus! Oh, it's a dream.
Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand.
Oh,
she
no.
seems to be in a hurry. Off to advise the Queen of Shest, most likely. This is the Holy Suzerain of Mwindi and Insulinda. Definitely not your wife. You need to talk to her. Think of the historical knowledge you could glean. I don't know, man. What is the Holy Suzerain doing here? Something seems off.
Something is off.
Sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome.
Hi, hi.
I just don't have time.
Hi, ho.
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions.
Stay a moment, we need to talk. We need to have one more massive epic show. No. Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry?
My head, I miss you.
Well, I'm in my head too. We're all in our heads.
Got him. Miss me there?
Sometimes. Not as often as I used to. So much time has passed. More than it seems here.
The ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny? Blast from a past.
This is everything I always warned you about.
Stay for a moment, we need to talk. We need to have one more massive epic showdown!
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really.
Oh, lungs are visible in the thing.
We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us. Our love. Our unborn daughters.
Multiple?
It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever.
But Kim...
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
Bought this figure of a headless flan rider.
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it.
How you liked figurines? I thought the figurine were for... Oh, okay.
Please don't give me any gifts.
Get the feeling you're not really that person.
I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day.
Through the morning.
The morning? I don't understand.
Morning. I'm not even dead.
Oh my God, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mourning someone who's still alive. Any of that. I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are not supposed to mourn.
Second thought, you're Dolores Day, Queen Regent, territories of whatever and nothing else.
Yes, Harry. I am. Things have gotten much better for me. Now that I am the ruler of the known world. Oh God, it's already so late. I have to go, Harry.
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
But you said I have a vast soul and you always come back to it.
We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender, long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it, said those things.
You wrote it in a letter, a handwritten letter. I kept in my paperwork.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
Regnant? Regent? Well, guess that might be a different one. Never mind.
You need to recite it to her, for effect. All of it. No summaries. Yeah, put a stake through your heart. She'll get hurt too. Collateral damage.
Right here, let me refresh your memory. Let's take a trip down memory lane.
Please, Harry, I just don't have time for this.
Every morning, when I step out in here, find a little piece of sadness in me, carried in my chest down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows until by the time I reach a fuel station, it's filled me completely. Step on the light rail and look back. Something bow collector. I know it will be like this until I walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Something I do. Can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. I always have a vast soul, and I will always come back to it.
Okay, stop. Yes. Are you happy now?
No, I'm not happy.
Then why are you doing this?
Detective, I've performed a handwriting analysis on this, so I know it was you.
Very well. I wrote it. It was morning. You slept. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left, on Voyager Road. It was autumn. The first autumn. But Harry, please understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I am no longer that person. This has taken her place. It will devour you. Harry, I will eat your mind.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips.
Bow collector, right rails. Our number?
42. That is the light rail that took me to Quran, to school and work. Every morning. It's the same stop I met you at, Harry. 100,000 million years ago.
Aw, thanks for a follow, Aubrey.
No human being should still remember the position of atoms such eons ago. It must feel unnaturally sad. A sadness so ancient, it is shared even by archaebacteria.
Can't you turn back to a person you were? I can see her in you, under the gown and that wraith? Gown? Oh, gown.
And my crown of immortality? No. You scared her out of me. With your crying, the awful time we wound up having. And the cheap rental flats you could afford. Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people.
A cheap rental with mold on the walls and the tap dripping. Nothing will. I've been poisoned by newspaper and news. All I can do is scream at them and think of her, secretly.
But now, what happens now? What is the next thing we talk about?
Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, then you should let me go to the aerodrome.
But that's not a very good way for things to be.
It's not. But
what? Tell me there's something good.
I don't know why I said but. There is no but.
Thanks, Maple. That's it?
That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again.
You are not ready for this morning.
We're in hell. Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
Good for me where? In fucking hell?
Oh yes, she'll come around now. I made her love you again, Harry. Are you stupid?
Kinda.
She's about to say something. Here it comes. She's starting to love him again. Her innocence, Dolores Day, fiddles with the handle of her airport bag. She has a pained expression on her face. It's agonizing. See? She isn't saying anything. I don't understand. It was, she herself said.
We were bad for each other, okay? I was bad for you. Can you not see? I'm bad. I had to stop. I couldn't just turn into a bad person. You will get better. It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can.
Felt that way once, that you can't live without me?
Yes. But that time is gone now. So very gone.
Feel like this, maybe we try again.
No, Harry. We can't.
Why?
We already tried again, and it didn't work.
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice, and then give up. By that logic, not you too.
Let's try building communism twice. If it doesn't work, let's abandon it and be slaves forever instead?
Yes, of course. I'm bourgeois because I don't want to keep hurting you.
What went wrong when we tried again? I can do better.
I don't know. Please.
Why? Why can't we be together?
Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
She avoids turning them to you.
Saying how?
They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head and tries to get hold of herself, brushing her hands in her gown.
What do you mean by insane?
You know what I mean.
Everyone gets a little down.
A little down. You've worked there for so long, you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. Questions.
Questions? Did someone say questions?
Not list their trees. Okay.
This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now.
We will have questions too. Yes, but it's not possible to talk without trees.
It's not just the lists or trees or whatever. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stayed down for too long. You only communicated with encyclopedic trivia. I was so alone.
I'll have a flashlight.
In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. I'm gonna go now.
Lies, sire. She cannot but love you. She has said so 100 times.
Don't want me to let you go. Not really. You asked me not to.
That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight.
No.
Yes.
Will we ever see each other again?
I won't see you, but you will see me.
How can that be?
Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened?
Video Evershaw.
2, 5 years ago?
Well, I see you again then.
Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental.
Look!
I'm suffocatingly beautiful. And young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time. So long ago.
This is intolerably bad.
Oh yes. This is real darkness. It's not death, or war, or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
Fuck. Cam.
You're up quick. How was your sleep?
There's total annihilation, Cam.
I did not want to wake you. Perhaps I should have? Was it a job dream?
No. Life dream.
The lieutenant nods solemnly.
Let's solve a fucking case.
Are you sure you're okay? You thrashed around and you bolted up, half covered in blood from your wound.
Spit out the blood and get back to work like the badass you are.
Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep.
Have a hug, Kim?
Yes.
The greasy old...
Yes, anytime.
Nope.
You don't have to be a hero. Soft covers.
Earth. Oh. Oh.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
Jeez, like, that was rough. That was really difficult. What's on the other side?
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
How do we open this?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
I'm just not opening it. Highly unlikely.
Alright, I retract my statement. It was naive. Let's look around and get it open.
Boop, 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 boop.
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
Oi, what's this then?
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
Let's open the blast door.
Possibly. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio.
Push light interior.
Nothing happens.
See, open.
We need to restore power before using this, officer.
Oh.
The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel. We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
The boat engine. The console looks on.
A hatch. Glad it's still throwing us pennies. Another bed?
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
Like the mattress.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns. And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it. Filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
That embrasure, what can you see through it?
Like the wall.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete.
Quite old and grimy, from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole in the concrete.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting.
Boom, enhance.
Across the water, the ruins look familiar.
Left.
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Gislain, 33A and 33B.
Volcano!
Got us. On the right.
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling rags. Rue de Saint-Gislain.
Damn it, Maple.
Commercial area.
Between the two.
the box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of
Motherfucker.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
Opening between 33A and 10. See the roof.
I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
I could make it. I could make the shot.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
Booyah, Master. No, finally.
In our defense, nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
Right.
He looks north, over the fortification, then at the mattress. He's conflicted for a second. There's guilt there. It takes him a moment to rationalize it away.
Could still be here.
Where?
Island. Right here. He's in the mattress.
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched,
I'm like 2 weeks.
Once more, and says, he feels uncomfortable suddenly.
We should move now.
Bugs. Bang. Got the fuel. Oh, let's go investigate over here in the back building.
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in.
Why?
Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you. Where it has always been. Maybe you know it's going to hurt.
It's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth.
No.
Yes. No. We're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long.
Can we? No. So yeah, I mentioned this. Hopefully finish this game this week. We don't know how close to the end we are. And then think starting next week might stream thinking of streaming Soma. Which don't exactly deal well with spooky games, but it is spooky month.
This old cylindrical generator waits with the lieutenant assists you,
thanks,
holding
Chief.
the canister up to the fuel tank
And
as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder. The lieutenant flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Nice. Damn, what you doing up there?
A dim golden glow animates the console. Faint, like a ghost light. Urgence ouvert reads one dial key. Allumer reads another.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
Automatic boot. The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle, a dim ambient orange. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Taking its sweet ass time. Oh, it's still going. Okay.
A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
After you.
I'm scared.
Don't be. I have a gun.
I also have a
I
gun.
know. It was not easy to acquire.
Okay, we need to go use the restroom, so we'll be back in just a minute or so. We're gonna run an ad, so that way hopefully ads don't run while we're playing, so don't be spooked. We'll be back. Okay. Whatcha? Okay, go. Oh. Oh. You know what? We're gonna explore inside real quick. One, try the radio. Two, see if with the lights on, there's any like new things we can investigate. Oh, it seems like that's not the case. Okay, let's just try the radio. Oh, we missed 1234.
A dim golden glow. The dial slides under the dusty glass, dark and silent, despite the power being on. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words, failed insula, are written on the band.
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military.
Okay, fine. Oh,
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth.
Achoo!
Then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
You the fire guy?
The what now? I can't hear you.
Recently tell two kids to put out a fire, two twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
And your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
It's gone.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Bell McGrath?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
Okay.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
A Hinyao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the ball.
Was blast doors?
I did. And you opened it. How?
Build the generator, then use the console.
I should have burned that console down.
Well, sucks for you. How did you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
Didn't say that, Kim.
I did.
We have entered a world where he said you shouldn't. It is the only world.
Who's not rock and roll is sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic, counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness. A weapon of the bourgeoisie. The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Put the gun down so we can talk further. We're with the police.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
Okay, but keep the gun down while we talk.
No. Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand. He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song.
What did you say? Oh no, our voice. Ah. Okay, there. What did you say?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
Say it.
The present to be afraid and cold.
Words. The future teaches you.
Real music. Real projet cult. That's La Révacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
Understood.
You don't understand anything.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross. political commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Been on this island 43 years?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've been on other islands, too. I was an resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
Insane.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across the plaza mosaic in dark red government-marked heavy fuel oil. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution.
Better come, I too have given my life for Mausian social economics.
A waste. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves.
Never give up, never surrender.
The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
You have Darumine and other opiate-based painkillers, you must be in pain.
I have been running out of that stuff.
Drugs!
There's no way he could manage the pain without them. It's safe to say he is addicted to painkillers by now.
How have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
About to say something.
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult mentally to live in isolation.
Yeah, I'm surprised you can, like, even hold a conversation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
Have you concealed yourself?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How did you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
Small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Weapon cache under St. Galzine 22B. Basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
Or damage beyond use.
I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
Tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
What is this place? This island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
Good. Said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith.
Good.
Well done. I won't explain it to a minion of capital.
Whoa. You're a communist soldier from Communist Army?
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
You said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps.
Trained
Corps.
in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
What does a political commissar do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts
We have an
his
idea.
silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the commune.
That's what we figured.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a night philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
Awakened from shutdown by the promise of ideology.
Means you're a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly. Then another tremor.
Also a communist.
No, you're not. You're a liberast.
Dude. No, I really am a communist. I have communist thoughts in my head. Look at my hat.
All the real communists are dead. They died fighting for communism. Are you dead?
Kinda.
No. You're an inert lump with a gun.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology.
You haven't.
We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
With the RCM, what's good at that?
Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans le Monde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
Never signed the revolution in surrender.
Only the army. Liberal reactionaries signed it for them. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I am a political commissar of the Communist Party, and the party never surrendered.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Understood.
I don't think you did. You live in a delusion. Radio shows, speed racing, and sporting goods. It's not real.
I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
Exposure? Ooh. Hold on.
I ain't going.
Hold on a second. We need to change some clothes so we can interrogate you better. Okay. Oh, wait. I think we might just have... Exception. Okay. This. Okay.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
This is body language.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild.
Surprisingly okay.
Indeed. He speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
By what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system.
Betcha?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
Mr. Whatever, are you okay? How's your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
Pick up the gun.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire.
Back it closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
As he said.
Worn, personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bout of wind.
Jacketed ammunition, 4.46.
Jacketed, military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
As he speaks, he stresses every word. He's liking this.
Kill the gun.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession in time.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
Both.
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
Hell yeah, comrade. Only divides the class divide.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But
what?
This is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
I know you want to tell me. Have you killed anyone with that gun in the last week or two?
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong all the time.
gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor?
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
Bash's death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March 4th.
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder.
Okay.
And an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
Done a ballistics. The shot came from this island.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
Said fascist, you admit. Told him.
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
I got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistols. I've seen you prance around with those. Jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Stop changing the subject. We have a murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
Automatically asked, you think we have a murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
Calling it, we have a murder weapon.
Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
Or am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Ooh.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Of course, thank you, Head. Thank you.
You got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul.
There were Maybells behind the victim's window.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
If I was anywhere else in Martinaise,
They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
A woman called Kaje ring any bells? Dried flowers were behind her window.
Classier.
No, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim?
There is a small tremble, looks like a smile, a crooked smile, yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything.
Wonder what brand boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the souls, please, Mr. Duras.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is called Sensorique. You see their V-shaped logo, but can't make out the size. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned souls you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Maybe it's simpler than that.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
It's kind of what we were thinking. We'll change shoes. It doesn't mean you weren't there near the room the victim died in, sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you?
Yes.
Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
Soldier too, he was a man.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner.
Passion.
Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Shot him?
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
Hold your breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
And what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Duras, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
Level up.
And you were looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman, having sex through the scope of your rifle that night before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
What?
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle's scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
Part of a shit you see.
Then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
How often have you done this?
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. Exploit it. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Specifically, did you not like about what you saw the night of a murder?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
Okay then.
Splat. A bloody spitball lands on the firewood.
Looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put of hatred.
What specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it.
Claire?
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the nights. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
Oh?
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Coyamorang, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Yeah, serfdom seems not good.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt, Frisell, is now dead.
Okay, we need to go to the bathroom again because we have a small bladder. 1 minute. Okay.
We did good when we pushed him under the horse car.
Oh.
Until, in the 30s, those disco whores.
Oh, baby.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter.
Blah, 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 blah.
There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating.
Disco whores?
Whores.
Whores. There was something about the statue of a roundabout in syphilis?
Syphilis is a disease Philip III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination.
Abomination?
The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son, Philip IV, the Insane, contracted syphilis in the womb.
So, interesting thing, parallel to this, we've heard that there's some people who theorize that, while Adolf Hitler was in jail, he contracted syphilis, or maybe before, whatever, and then while in jail, with his brain slowly deteriorating from syphilis, a bunch of religious people came to him and like, we don't know. Probably blamed the Jews for everything, but like, it's kind of interesting, the idea that something so minor as a disease, relatively speaking, could cause like so much misery and death. Anyway.
That is technically possible, although Philippe III was not actually syphilitic. He was just mad.
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government. And those grotesque statues too. Hundreds of them.
Still there. Yeah, but the statue's like, it's put together like half exploded as like an ironic statement.
What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why?
Because cynical advertising yuppies erected a deconstructed version of it.
That's right. Some advertising cockroaches erected a cynical deconstruction of it. We tore it down with honest working-class plastic explosives. And there it is again. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity.
What?
Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata.
Yeah, honest working class plastic explosives. But or is it like, okay, what? No? Like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe there's some art aspects of it, and like the fact that like for some rich people they can just like spend their lives like fucking around doing art stuff, but like the expression of emotions and communication through, you know, artistic means, that's like very human and important. By the cock parading in his colorful uniform, you mean Renee?
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June.
You know, we would imagine under truly communistic society, everybody would be an artist. Everybody would have a freedom, interest to use that level of expression.
Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A Patank maniac race traitor.
Like, it's so simple too. Like, look at how many jobs there are that just add nothing to society. That are like, and this is like coming from someone who's spent like a decade working as a software engineer. Do you know like what any of our code from a professional standpoint has done for society? Any regards? Fucking nothing. Nothing. We've worked at like a place that did prepaid gift credit card things where they made money like skimming pennies off of each transaction. We've worked at a place that was a subsidiary owned by Target that just wrote software so that in Target they could just have one program for entering in information for phone stuff, and then it would, you know, send that information off to each individual phone company. Like, worked at our most recent job, we worked at a company that managed rights for media and figured out how to like, it was like like it was so similar to when we worked at a company that did MLM or back office MLM software. It's the same thing. It's all just a pyramid scam. Like, and all this work and effort, like, what does it do? It just goes to lining CEOs' pockets by just making business transactions slightly cheaper. It's disgusting. And like, you know what? We would be happy working in like a sewer, like for a few hours a week, or doing some awful shit to like live in a near utopia society where like all just together, all of us just have to do a little bit to contribute to the continualization of society. And then like, that's it. And like, look at how with like automation advancing too and stuff, like robotics, like just fucking people are scared like, oh, robots are gonna take my job, and it's like, that's a good thing. We should like clearing up manual labor so that there's like more labor to go around for other things that are needed. That's a good thing. Fucking despise the death cult that is capitalism, the idea of ever growing profits at the cost of anything while the planet's fucking burning. Fuck billionaires. Anyways, Odd.
I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, personally. His make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one. Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It borders on longing.
You'd like to kill him?
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bomb melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later?
Bun. Kim.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, René. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell.
Is dead.
Blood. No.
Yeah.
I waited too long. I waited too long, and now he's dead?
Bummer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
Kim. Don't think you understand.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
There are 1,000 chances to kill him.
And I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust.
Cared about him?
All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, God damn this world.
You okay?
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days. Something strange is keeping him together.
I've been talking to this guy for like 2 hours. You mentioned the Union is social democratic, and Mr. Clare is a farce of a social democrat.
I don't want to talk about goddamn social democrats. Traitors is all they are. Brain dead.
Well, we won't necessarily agree with the brain dead traitor part. Like, yeah, social democrat we don't think that's the way to go. Like, we're against reformism, generally speaking, because like shit's fucked. Drastic measures need to be taken now. We hope everyone watching the stream is slowly becoming radicalized. Oh, what we were thinking of before, like, it was so insane in 2020 during the riots. Like, the whole cause, sustaining force of the riots was police brutality. And the police knew they were, like, under the heaviest suspicion and, like, watch and all of this. And everything they were doing was being filmed. And you know what? They couldn't fucking stop killing minorities. They were excited about it, like fucking dogs chomping at a chain or whatever that phrase is. Like, fuck.
René still presses on his mind.
Glad we talked about this now.
Glad we talked about what?
His lip curls into a sneer at the memory.
Glad we talked about what?
His lawful lineage Shaw of Dwarves, you're under arrest for murder of Ellis Quinton. Blah, 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 blah.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
One more thing.
The old man looks at his... You startled him. Maybe it was the silence. He quickly gathers himself. Still, what could he be afraid of?
Yeah.
Them fucking jealousy.
Doubt
It's
it.
a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore.
That's a pretty big fuck you. Hey!
And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything. Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Fell building on the coast? What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it.
Cigarette, right?
I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
I think she hid there.
Her passport, tickets to Villiers, and from there to Cachet Brut.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
Some kind of hidden container on a coast. You walked into it?
Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible. Well made, actually.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to film. Oh, I mean...
Moving on, did you continue watching her after this?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago.
What?
Those birthmarks. And a body hard and lean and bruised all over. Black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
Yeah, but having sex on drugs is pretty fun. Can't knock it.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
The book? Oh, right, yeah. Didn't some of the people who worked on this game for, like, years beforehand wrote, like... Doesn't this game have, like, thousands of years... Or not this game necessarily, but this world have, like, thousands of years of, like, history that's been, mapped out and stuff? Fucking nerds are wild.
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
We will admit, how much we get our hair dyed is a little bougie.
He's setting it up for you. The bruises, you can't make that out in a scope.
see her bruises through the scope of her rifle?
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a
Yeah.
It quickly comes to you.
Bruises on her body. Any chance you've seen them through a hole in the wall?
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife.
See her through a window on a roof?
Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass.
Been through a secret route behind a willing and rags. Those were your footprints there. You just changed shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
We all deserve nice things. We all deserve sex on drugs. That's the world we support. Give to society and have sex on drugs.
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance.
Imagine being shot by an old, crazy communist who's been living on his own for 40 years because, like, you had such a good time partying and fucking that he's just like, fuck it, can't stand this anymore, you're dead. Like, jeez. You know, probably went out pretty good. Leading up to it, anyways.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
So, like, he's saying that this person killed her daughter? Like, is that a metaphor of some kind? Ugh.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
You have feelings for that woman?
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with
Water? We don't know.
Is he crying?
No, never mind.
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know.
Is that why you left dry flowers behind her window?
No.
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of our room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
That's a mood.
The day after I killed him.
Brought her Maybells?
Yes. I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
Wanted to console her?
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more.
So in conclusion, it wasn't about him, it was about her.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
got away, but she led us here first. She figured out someone was watching her from the seafront, or seafort.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week, at the island, like she knew. She'd look, at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Rivershell, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lucerne Central Aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft.
Walk north.
On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still, she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghosts of the city she's leaving, for another, far south.
You know, we've never been withdrawing on something in public, but have you ever been, like, in public on a heavy amount of psychedelics? So, you know. Never mind.
Smaller, distant, hidden, not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements, and water, and across it, a dark strip of ruins, barely visible, if she didn't squint her eyes. He knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring it out, day by day, cigarette by cigarette. The old man has fallen silent, staring at your feet. The burnt logs in the fire are moist from the sea air.
Oh, geez. Yeah, so we used to be on Adderall for a while, and honestly, it was really nice for a while, but then, like, we'd miss picking it up by a few days, and that would happen every time, and then eventually it'd be like, oh, nope, you can't pick it up because you've been too inconsistent picking it up, and it's like, that should be evidence that we have ADHD. Like, what? Like, if someone is picking up their ADHD medication at the same time every month, like, that's the one you should be suspicious about. But we got off it, and also, apparently there's been big supply problems with it, so probably works out. Now we're on antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds. Yay! Ugh. Words the future teaches you.
Real music. Real Brilliant Cult. That's La Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the
Oh.
Whites.
Yesterday, we had a doctor's appointment, and we got injected with estrogen. Surprise, we're trans on HRT. Whoa. And we've been feeling really good. Like, actually some level of energy. Like, okay, a lot of times on these streams, we're like, hey, yeah, but like, then we end the stream and we like, go fucking take a depression nap. But yeah, it's been kind of nice. Also, one of the medications, anti-androgen something, finasteride, we were off that for a bit because like we ran out and just Walgreens didn't refill it and we kind of forgot about it for several months. So yeah. Hopefully all that medication changes and stuff works out. Although now we're going to have to inject ourselves weekly with estrogen, which... Ugh. So it was kind of ridiculous. While the nurse was teaching us like how to do it and everything. Here, story time. So like she was talking through it, stuff, whatever, and then after like getting all ready and stuff, she's like, and before at one point she said like, remember, the quicker you go, the less you'll feel. And it's like, okay. she's like, "Are you ready?" Yeah. And, you know, she like held the needle like this. Like this, and just went like into her thigh. And like, it was just like, we looked down, she was plunging him in already, and then she just like pulled it out, and she's like, and it was just like, okay. it didn't hurt like at all. She just somehow missed all like the nerves and stuff. Like, our thigh has been a bit sore yesterday and today, but yeah. So also I find it really funny that Walgreens gave us the needles in pill bottles. But then the syringes are just in a fucking plastic bag. I'm not a misanthrope, I'm a half-dead police officer who's just doing his job.
The job of a shitlicker.
You know, that's why you use bidets. Power wash that shit right off your butthole. Anyway.
It is the anthem of the world revolution. One of 3. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was...
Go get one.
Some Samaran shit, I guess.
You can probably go to like Home Depot or Lowe's or something and buy like a $30, $40, maybe $50 bidet seat attachment. If you want like a nicer one, you can probably order one online. And if depending on how like all the pipes and stuff are set up in your bathroom, like if a sink's nearby, there are some where, you know, you attach one of the lines to the toilet and then another line to the hot water for the sink. So that way you actually have temperature control. At this point, we're kind of used to having cold water just sprayed up into the business. But, you know. This has been getting very off track multiple times. How does it go, the song?
How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he can't remember. A little tremor passes through him. It was dear to him. He resents forgetting it.
You know, he probably would, but also, like... It's like, if you're already using a toilet, it's not even, like... It doesn't take additional power or anything, and, like, yeah, it takes some extra water, but... Honestly... The amount of water you do use is probably way less useful than the amount of TP you go through. Like, we moved into this house a while ago. Not this house, a different house. And when we moved in, we got a bidet attachment, and then we bought one of those big, like, you know, whatever, 32 something rolls of toilet paper. It lasted like a year and a half. Pretty crazy. Maybe longer than that. I don't know. Anyways, you're under arrest.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
What?
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
Damn, he's afraid.
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
Going into possibly a psychotic episode.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
He's tweaking out, man.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Perception? Whoa, whoa. Nice.
You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Maybe we could all fit in there.
Does it have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here, but...
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Watches him while I come back for you.
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
Yeah, I could just... all fit in the little boat?
Actually, no.
Oh. Yeah, I can just ask that nitpicker to watch him.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
Okay, below the confusion where age a fit of Jasmina's vu, like yours, thought passes, more pressing matters take its place.
No, listen. Listen now.
Could back for me once you've taken him to a pre.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
No need to be polite. I'll do it.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this... us?
The wind is cold from the east. Your skin is crawling suddenly.
Whoa!
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Fascinating. What is that?
What are you talking about?
Giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Him, can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay, good.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
Uh, uh, Alright. Hello.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
This is a cryptid.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open extremely carefully. It's the camera.
Or you won't scare it off?
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid.
Great, stop now.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Just listen to me.
Shh. Okay.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
Approach carefully. Blade of a pheromone on thick. Oh, right, we forgot about that.
Slowly, with
Damn!
you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows.
Isn't also phasmid supposed to be like the thing that happens when multiple people believe in hope and communism enough? Or is that just unrelated?
Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
And on your tippy toes to look more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
Damn, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one.
Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
What? I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Ill.
What is your illness?
My heart, for me, it's sadness, input after input.
For me, it is not like that. I have states, not the emotions. For example, I experience excitement at unexpected sugar rewards. But that is not important. Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
Oh, right. Yeah, at level 3 plasmid stuff, they can communicate through thought. Chewed upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of an era feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul. And if I did, it would never ache.
I'm glad to be me, an incredibly sensitive and
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass.
yeah.
The eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
Very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping my shit together.
That must be incredibly hard.
Yeah.
The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
Hello?
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Return to Earth.
Detective.
Where does this come from? All this around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
All we can do is beat our fists against it day after day with no answer?
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Wait, so...
So you look like a reed and you eat reeds.
Yes, they don't mind.
Have you accidentally eaten another reed, Phasmid?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
Oh, you had to eat your babies? It's a dream, what is happening?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulindian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys.
It may have unknown, dangerous biochemical characteristics that help it maintain its camouflage.
I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and officials of the occupation. Even the Seminese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshore, district of Martinez, March 51.
A detective? Wait,
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
Yeah.
I can also detect pheromones. The ones on you tell me that you will not beat me, and that I will benefit from your closeness. In short, I love you.
Aww. That's insane.
No, you are.
Fair.
The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively median life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system ominously new to the planet that Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
That was human-made?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
You as in us, or you as in humanity?
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
Ow.
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic
actually we know
life
about that.
6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing.
Kinda.
Only
Well,
much worse.
we know about something similar in Earth history. Like, oxygen used to be way more prevalent, and that's why there could be big bugs.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
How?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
How do you know when you close the door and you open it back up that the outside is still the same outside you left it as? I always thought this way?
No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation.
Extra careful not to blink. Stick insect.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh, and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
Look like.
You're just staring at it.
Think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
The case is meaningless compared to this. I have totally transcended the case.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstable.
Saying, wait, yeah, wait, I know more.
You're a violent. We suspect.
Instead of air, you...
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you...
I've already forgotten a whole world once when I drank.
So it is already happening.
Oh.
Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Poisonous?
Yes. I do not have a Stardew display, so I use a neurodegenerative element to aid in camouflage. Do not worry. It is only destructive over long periods of time.
The deserter. He's been here for a long time.
Say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts, that was all.
No. There is one more.
You are the kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman. Turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
But woman.
You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So awfully far you were prepared to go in her presence. And it.
I'll try.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Take the picture.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword.
Sick picture.
The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
While you reach out and touch the whiskers.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet. Looks like someone's got hurt in a fight. This antennae is much smaller than the other one.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
At your finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
But it's safe-like form.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning!
Pull your hand away.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening, wave by wave from its stupor. Some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think.
Should we lick our fingers? Should we do it? Should we do it? Should we do it?
It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
A little disappointing. We got it!
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Boy.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. No, stop. Be afraid.
Other hand too.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
Pray to me, I'm nothing.
The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers above you, parting the reeds it emerged from. Tuft-like structures still rustle on its joints. Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
Disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Wow. That was a fucking trip. So, Sensei, it seems like you've played this game. How much longer do we have left, roughly? Like, are we, like, right at the end? Or is there still a fair amount to go?
Like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror, like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
Okay, we'll keep going then and finish it off. Because normally we stop around 3 hours, but it seems like we feel close to the end. Okay, yeah, we'll keep going. What's that in the reeds?
It's like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
Walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What now?
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Alright. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy lunch.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the phasmid?
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking.
Snap.
A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
Drugs?
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
Found something in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him.
Throw him a helmet.
Nothing. Just dull. The last embers have gone out.
I lost.
Lost it?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there, with the help of a magpie phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
What's US now?
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal.
What's happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
It was a phasmid.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
There's much more. Remember what it said when it spoke?
Long-term poisonous.
Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
Evaluated his state, he seems strangely animated.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
Perhaps this animation. There's something in the phasmid.
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
Couldn't see it, Cam. It was just a reeds for him.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross.
No response.
How phasmid has stayed hidden all these years.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yes, you forget it's there.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
Definitely toxic. A phasmid, it told me.
Told you? Yes, good. In your long staring match, I understand.
Been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it is... who knows how much of it in its company?
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it.
Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here, if we don't take too long.
What a wild ride. We're a bit bummed we weren't able to hang out with the communists more. Oh well.
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
RCM, it sounds like RCM Revachol, yeah.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM.
May?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. It's going to be hard to say them. Carrying around all that weight on a busted crutch is making you pant.
ICP? Insane Clown Posse? Magnets. Fucking magic. How do they work? What I'm hearing is we descend from a glorious revolutionary army.
There were all sorts of groups and groupuscules back then. It doesn't really matter.
And what is the ICM?
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army, the black and white army of the revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
White Star.
No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
Old, what's it still doing here?
44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Freighter.
W Freighter?
One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
Black Stars too?
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean era symbol.
Okay.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea.
That fluttering.
The flock of quail departs. Now more than 100 meters away. 102, 105. On the islet, there is almost no wind, just the light movement of air through the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline. Long dried leaves chafing against each other. Like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work. Of great importance to the few who attend.
Yes?
Notice how quiet it is?
I have. Is that why we're stopping?
The lieutenant nods. Inside, a low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete.
Okay.
The skiff is swaying.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you.
Royce?
You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought him. Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Hey, you have a man with the sunglasses.
That's right. And you're bleeding.
Forget about this, there's a giant.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
There were two that came, or three that came with us. 2 guys and a girl. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar. And this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you after pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later. But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
What is this about?
Harry, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trant, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Shit kid? What an interesting moniker.
What's a shit kid?
You. Shit kid? That's you.
Maybe you've deserved it.
A task force?
Yeah. Major Crimes Unit. Under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Hiddleston, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Guillaume Bev.
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trant because I'm forcing him to stay.
Okay, so what does a unit do?
It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
Where have you been all this time?
Where have we been? We've been fucking off as far as I remember. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
Oh, all will burn, make no mistake.
Here we go. Alcoholic delirium. Visions. All must pay.
Yes, I'm Trant Hiddleston. I never said I wasn't Trant Hiddleston.
Wait, so what was up with the kid?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
So were you spying?
No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead.
Oh, okay.
And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence.
Okay, got it.
Again, I was asked to share my take on some of the more fringe academic theories developed in Königstein in the 30s. For example, partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
You know I was here.
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
David's establishment.
Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look safe at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building, mixed with blood.
Delinquent.
I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it.
Not even blonde.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Suspected something was off.
Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
Duped again.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Gardner, scab leader, this. Tell me at least you are who you say you are.
Yes, I'm still Kim Kisolagi.
Oh, great.
Lieutenant from Precinct 50.
Do you have a rock that we build our world upon, Kim?
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, Pell, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Might have something to do with an anomaly in the church, 2mm hole in the world.
Corresponding to the 20cm hole in your brain. Sure. This theory has great symmetry. I see how it folds into itself neatly.
Precisely, Satellite Officer Vicmere. It's Martinez.
Explain it later, but there's another man who lost his memory, a crab man.
Crabman is an unfortunate choice of words, but I was there. The church on the coast shook from an audiospatial anomaly. It may have been anthroponetic, or perhaps related to radio waves. Either way, I have put this into my report. You should read it. I do not, however, think it has anything to do with him drinking himself to the point of brain damage.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Just to clarify, I do not think Isolari anthroponetics are a hoax. Pale produces global phenomena. It's proven. However, what has not been proven is total memory loss after drinking too much Commodore Red. Honestly, I think he's just lying to us.
But Detective Vicmere, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. The two cases in your ledger, the unsolvable case and the Next World mural, those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Drove into Ocean while I was drunk?
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Right here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
Got it.
Not today, badge.
Behold my badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. What is it with all these material objects?
Gun, badge, cars, these all things. Things don't matter, people do.
You're drunk, aren't you? You lost your gun and you're drunk. You're a drunk, gunless bum. I can't smell it.
I don't lose my gun, I have it.
We're not talking about the fucking gun anymore. We're talking about the vaporized cloud of ethanol coming from your mouth.
This is so unfair. He knows you have the gun, and still he's punishing you.
Not drunk, I haven't started drinking again.
So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then?
I got shot?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Also covered in bug pheromones. Yeah, it's been a bit of a week.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
She gave a vital clue.
Oh well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby something? Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
Could have been worse.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Yeah, it was massacre. We got wiped. Where the hell were you?
Don't make this harder for yourself.
Oh.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Yefretor Dubois.
W, Freighter.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
You should yell something.
A good idea.
Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
Shut up, Redrick.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped singing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Love you too, Cam.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows. flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
So, as you can see, I'm pretty okay detective and an absolute giant communist.
Fucking hell. Is this somehow connected to the case?
Detective?
Yes, I believe a pheromone is emitted, may be responsible for a killer's mental degradation.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary.
Fuck you, John.
I don't even have words for it.
Gene. Fuck you, Gene.
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Lost a dead man on a boardwalk, missing person I found.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How'd you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
You have a strong motive.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
Any metronome?
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
Killed him in an act of rage induced by,
Possibly induced. But even without that, this man spent 50 years on the islands in the bay, in solitude, loathing what Revachol has become. There's plenty for prosecution to pick from in terms of motive. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Did all I could. Every second was a struggle.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like in your bones or something. It will pass. In time.
Also looked into the mystery of a doomed commercial area.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is.
Hers turned out to be possibly intraplanetic, part of a larger investigation into Martinez itself.
No, it didn't. It didn't turn out to be anthropometical again. Enough with the solar pale 2mm hole in the world line. This isn't Paradox B. We're a police force.
Paradox B is a fringe science magazine published in Grad. Its mission is to explain theories like telekinesis, and it doesn't look like the lieutenant wishes you to push this angle further.
Also, Phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
I gathered items in its nest, a helmet and scope.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
I think it was female.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
It reproduced by pharogenesis?
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Told me.
Then it wouldn't matter if it's male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
Yeah, that's how bananas and stuff get fucked up. Emits a chemical that makes it look more like reeds.
Yes. That would be a chiromone. A pheromone that's seemingly beneficial to the host. It usually stimulates the affected nervous system. Not a human's, of course, but perhaps a predator's?
Perpetrators seemed intoxicated somehow like an addict. It's just a hunch, but...
There are species of bees that, under the influence of chiromones, take wasp larvae to their hives. Ants do the same with aphids, thinking they're... Do you think this is how it stayed hidden?
Nothing is off the table. But I want to stress this. The find does not have to be connected to the case. The case is 100% prosecutable, without any chiromones.
Of course, Lieutenant. Of course. We should treat the case and the phasmid as completely separate from each other. People are not going to...
They're not going to go for this speculation in the constabulary.
Had mandibles that looked like hair and is white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it...
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still.
So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude?
Hey!
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are.
Wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Am I a dirty cop?
No.
Okay.
Talks concluded.
Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
But before?
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron.
Oh.
It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair.
Collection of fun sportswear I've amassed.
The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is.
Cam!
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy. God, even this javelin throwing freak here.
Why'd I join the RCM?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. emotion.
What's this?
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then.
When?
Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue, the worn floorboards. Kuro is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
His smirk suggests Bailey made love.
Okay, I see now.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
What kind of station is Precinct 41?
With the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Price?
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have him.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
Tell Lena.
Who is Lena?
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road.
Cryptid Zoology. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about the Phasmid.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
And what are you gonna do?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Rivershoal. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
That's Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant investigate. Come work at Precinct 41.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
Valid.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Know who?
Dora something. Dora Engelund. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Weren't even married?
No one is married anymore. This is Rivershoal.
Alright.
So have I. You bitterly dropped Dearest Dora and really tore me a new one twice a week, I think. It comes up.
The special consultant glances.
Okay.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vickmere? Yes. Dubois? Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Oh, what a ride. Okay, I need to go use the restroom while this is going. Oh. Okay. So yeah, Disco Elysium. What a wild ride that's been. It's been. Had a lot of fun. Yeah. We're a little tired. It's been 4 hours. Usually we only go for 3. We're close to the end of the credits. And I at least want to let them play out. may or may not stream tomorrow. We're still thinking about it. We need to move out of this house this weekend, so probably would be an idea to start packing. Anyway, credits. So much. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna call it here, and yeah, may or may not see y'all tomorrow. Yeah. Bye. Love y'all. Mwah.